2025. I am so excited to be here. I hope everybody had an amazing New Year's. I actually forgot that it was back to the grind today for a lot of us. But I'm super excited to be here. Just the fact that I made it through 2024 is phenomenal to me and probably to a lot of you. And so today I'm talking about how to align with your higher self. Now, this continues on my series with aligning to love, because in order for you to be able to align to love, you have to align to your higher self, because that is what's going to put you in the place where you can attract the love that you are seeking, one that is on the same vibration that you are, one that you can connect with easily. And so that is what I'm talking about today, how to align with your higher self. And I'm going to share 8 tools, tips, and ways that you can do this. The first thing I want to talk about is how to understand what your higher self is. So your higher self is your truest essence. And I have notes, just so you know. Your truest essence, the part of you that is connected to divine wisdom, unconditional love, and infinite potential. It always operates beyond ego, fear, and limitation. So if you are in ego, or if you feel, you're operating in fear or in limitation using limiting beliefs, then you are not operating in your highest potential. You are not operating in your true essence, because our true essence is connected to divine wisdom, unconditional love, and infinite potential. And so for me, that means that we are not limited in any way in anything that we do. And so a part of that is, your higher self is always guiding you. However, many times we are not paying attention to her, him, or them. Our higher self is always guiding us. Alignment is about quieting distractions to hear it clearly. And so a lot of times you have so many things going on, so much noise. And this is something that I've been working with myself is, I love music, so I almost always have it in the background. If you've watched me before, you probably noticed that. So I try to make sure that it's low enough so it doesn't become a distraction. And then I play typically royalty-free meditation music, or background sounds, or whatever they call it. But yeah, so I do that because I don't want that to be a distraction over what I'm saying. Because apparently, if you're watching, it's because I'm saying something that is going to be helpful to you, or something that you is confirming. Because a lot of times, what happens is I say things that you already know, so it's a confirmation, and it's like a validation, if you will, that someone else is speaking that. So that's really what your higher self is. And so ways to connect with it: create a sacred space. So dedicate a physical or a mental space for reflection and connection. And the reason why we say mental space, because sometimes, if you live in a tight spot in a tiny house, or with a lot of people, and there are times where it's hard to find a space, you might have to go in the car. I've seen people do that. You have little kids, they don't let you hardly, out of their sight. So you might have to, when you drop them off, or when somebody else is home to watch them, you might have to go in your car and use that as a sacred space and take, that particular time. And sometimes you're not, sometimes you're not in a mental space where you can do this. And so, and a lot of times you know what, you need to go somewhere. I'm so tired of dealing with stupid people. Get on, go somewhere and bother somebody else. Alrighty, okay, moving on. Thank you so much. So sometimes you have to find a place that you can do this. And I know people that even find like the closet in their house. It's like they can go in their closet because their kids are still there, maybe they're playing or whatever, and they have to go in their closet in order to find that space where you can go, where that you can make that connection with your source. you know, you can have crystals, you can use candles, calming music, which are all things that I use. I love that. And keep a journal nearby for insights. So, that is one thing that you can do in order to align with your higher self. Another thing, you can practice stillness and presence. And so, what happens is it brings you to a time, and what I can say is some of the things that I've dealt with recently in my life have helped me to create this time, this and to practice this stillness and presence. I've literally practiced shutting everything off, which is rare, like I said, because I usually always have music on, or somebody, a podcast or something. And so I've been practicing just shutting things off, everything off, and just spending that time in stillness with a candle. Sometimes not even music, which is always different for me, but it really does help you to reflect. Meditation, sitting quietly and focusing on your breath. That really helps to move the needle and inviting your higher self to connect with you. Because what it is it is that time that you're setting aside in order to do these things so that you can connect deeper. Mindfulness, practice being present at any moment, fully present. Because many times, because we are tethered to our devices so much in this time, a lot of times we are not present. We're doing 5, 10, 20,000 things, just too much. And so it's time for us to stop that. And in 2025, I'm really, I am just hoping that people begin to shift that, because you're going to need it. Because this year could be a doozy. Grounding is another thing that you want to do. You want to spend time in nature. You want to connect with your energy. And y'all, I'm telling y'all, I know how difficult that can be, because I live in the city. So I have to I have to actually go somewhere to go ground, and I live in an apartment, so I don't have like a backyard, so I can do all that. So it is a struggle. I'm talking about how to align with your higher self. So tune into your intuition. Intuition is the language of our higher self. It is the still small voice that speaks to each and every one of us. And so you want to begin to really pay attention. And that's another thing. Pay attention to your gut feelings. Pay attention to how you feel when you hear things, when you see things, when you're in particular areas. Pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention to synchronicities and dreams and things that show up for you that you're not really sure what to do with. Pay attention to those things. Another thing is you want to practice making decisions based on that inner knowing, rather than somebody else telling you what to do. You want to really start honing your intuition and using it and practicing it. Now, what does that mean? That doesn't mean that you're going to always be right. It's not. That's why we're practicing. You're not going to always be right, because there is nobody perfect. However, you'll start to grow in that, in how you're able to use it. And we suggest that divination cards, tarot, oracle, if those are things that you use. Pendulums are another divination tool. Some people do bones and rocks and playing cards, and there are so many different things that you can use. You don't have to use anything, but you can use those things, because they will open up for some things for you, and they'll enhance your intuition. Another thing you want to do is raise your vibration. So your higher self operates at a higher vibrational frequency. So aligning with it requires that you come up, that you raise your frequency. That you stop, blame. You stop low level vibrations such as fear. You shut down anxiety. You begin to really connect to yourself and learn who you are and what it is that you desire and how to do that. You practice gratitude daily. That is one thing that is going to lift you. You practice that gratitude daily. And when you first start, sometimes if you're not in a space where you've been doing that, it's difficult, because you have to think about things, especially here in America. We are so accustomed to things. We know that, wherever we go, pretty much we're going to have internet. We know that, we're going to have food. We know that gas is pretty plentiful. I mean, it might be pricey in some places. And then that's also a matter of how you think and what you believe. And so we have to practice gratitude. And I know when I first started practicing gratitude, really practicing, I had a hard time, because it's like, okay, so am I, grateful I have clothes, a house, all these things, but those things were standard for me. So I didn't really think that that was something I should be grateful for until I really started to connect with my higher self more. And I started realizing that those are not given things. Those are all things that we should all be grateful for. If you have a house, you should be grateful for it. You know what I mean? And so I started really doing that and just really diving in and journaling on that and writing down the things that I was grateful for. And then another thing you want to do is engage in things that light you up, and things that are joyful, things that light you up again. Things that, you can be creative, because that was me. I wanted to do things where I could be creative. So I started doing this channel. I started writing. I've written a few books. I've started, matter of fact, I'm working on one or two more, but I've started a TikTok channel. So I go on there as well and do lives. I started making jewelry, which I do all as well because I just enjoy those things. And so those are creative things that help me to get in the space where I am raising my vibration. So if I ever start feeling crazy and down and depressed because, it is winter and seasonal depression is real. And so if anytime I start feeling that, then I start doing these things. Like I have a color book here. I start coloring with real Crayola coloring. Color real Crayola colors. And so crayons. And so when I think about that stuff, it lights me up and it makes me happy. And that is really the point of raising your vibration. Okay. And so the next thing you want to do is let go of negativity and forgive yourself and others. I have a forgiveness exercise in my stand store that you can grab, because that right there set it off for myself. Like I did it myself. Like everything that I do and everything that I share, typically I have done or been through or have had teaching on. So another thing is you want to ask for guidance. Directly ask your higher self for clarity, for answers or insight. Sit down with your journal and write, what does my higher self want me to know right now? Or you can use cards, and you can say that while you're using cards. Like I have cards here, and so you can just, say, what does my higher self want me to know? What does my higher self want me to know? And then you'll get a card that'll come through that'll tell you that your higher self wants you to be in peace. Wants you to be in peace. You see, so it's so many different ways that you can ask. Before you go to sleep at night, you can ask your higher self to provide messages in your dreams. You can listen for answers in the form of feelings, thoughts, and signs. So, messages come to us all the time. Like I have lately been seeing 444, 222, these different repeating numbers, and they're signs. So if you see those things, look them up. Google them, Bing them, whatever search engine you use, Chat GPT, and look it up and ask, what does it mean? And lastly, you want to, no, not lastly, you want to release, no, not lastly, you want to release ego attachments. So the ego often distracts us with fear, doubt, and a need for control, because that is what the ego is. The ego wants to be in control. And it helps us until it doesn't. And so you want to begin to practice self-awareness to recognize when your ego is taking over. And so as you start to understand you and you start to really gather yourself, you will begin to recognize and you'll see it. And then you can pull back, because what I started doing also is If I speak something that is a limiting belief, I started arresting that belief immediately, not waiting and saying, okay, y'all, next time. No, right here, right now, shift it. Right here, right now. It does something to your psyche, y'all. I don't know what, because I haven't studied that deep about that. But it does something to your psyche because I can feel it. Like I can feel the shift as soon as I catch it and I shift it. And so that's what you need to do. You need to catch it and you need to shift it immediately. You need to surrender outcomes and trust in divine timing. Because I'm telling you, divine timing is real. Sometimes we want to rush things, and I am the key person. I talk to myself about this every single day. We want to rush it, but guess what? We don't need to rush nothing. The universe has divine timing, and the timing is correct for you. And so when you begin to surrender those outcomes and trust, I'm telling you, things will begin to shift in your life. You'll begin to really understand and know who you are, and you'll begin to connect to your higher self in ways that you have no idea. So affirmations for this would be, I am guided by my higher self. I release fear and trust the process. Now, those are affirmations that I say every day to myself. Now, I call those generic affirmations. However, those generic affirmations lead me to deeper ones about myself because it leads me to that understanding of me, which so many of us, struggle with. A lot of us do. A lot of us struggle with understanding and getting to that deeper knowledge of who the hell we even are. Okay, so the next thing is we want to align our actions. Align our action. So living in alignment with your higher self means acting from a place of authenticity and integrity. So being who you are, being being who you say you are, doing what you say you're going to do. And so some of these things that you might want to consider, even as you are journaling, is, does this decision honor my truth? Does this decision honor my truth? I'm telling you, when you when you dive into these things will open up so much for you because you will begin to see and understand that you probably weren't honoring your truth. Am I living in a way that reflects my values and purpose? Am I living in a way that reflects my values and purpose? That is a hard one right there, because a lot of times we think that we're living in integrity and alignment, but we're not. We're not. And when we really begin to get on that path to shift this thing, oh my God. And then another question, and these are journaling questions that you can ask yourself. What would my higher self do in this situation? What would my higher self do? They used to have this thing years ago when I was doing religion. What would Jesus do? And so I feel like Jesus is probably your higher self. And so what would your higher self do in this situation? What would Jesus do? And you know what I say? I say, what would Big Tammy do? Big Tammy, the big one. The biggest ever. Okay. And so the last thing that we would do in this is strengthen your connection over time. So alignment is something that you practice daily. So you want to do, of course, something in the morning to check in, spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I do it all together. Like I do this whole meditation where I meditate, I pray first, and I talk to God, and I talk to my team, and I meditate. And, I do all of this stuff before I get out of the bed, because for me, that works the best. And so some people recommend doing evening reflections, review your day, and notice where you felt aligned and disconnected. If that's something that you can do, I think it probably would be good. I cannot speak to that because that is not something that I do. However, I believe that it probably would be wonderful. I think it would be something that would open up doors and things for you as well, because a lot of times once you've done the day and then you're looking at it and you're saying, okay, what could I have shifted? What could I have done better? How was I here? Maybe, and most of the time you already know where you were out of line. Maybe you talked to somebody in a crazy way that, you could have done differently. Maybe you weren't kind, and maybe, you can shift that and you can, be kinder. Also, of course, you want to read books, and you want to hello, peace and blessings, and Happy New Year. You want to read books and attend workshops and go on YouTube like I do. I go on YouTube and I find different mentors and stuff. And I actually have a playlist that is called Online Mentors. So some of the videos that I find that are encouraging to me or that I'm looking for that help me on my journey to, this connection to the peace and the wholeness and releasing of the anxieties and all the things that we carry in this life and actually growing. That's what I do. I find a lot of them. Like I, and I go from, I try really hard. I don't usually binge. I'll binge somebody if they have a bunch of stuff that looks good to me, but I'll get what I need and then I'll go because that is how I'm designed. Yeah, I didn't even talk about human design, but human design, I'm a reflector 2/4. So yeah, that's my aura. I'm a sampling type of girl, and that's what I do. But and I also have books, like I laugh because typically I have 6 or 7 books down here by my foot underneath my desk that I'm going through, but I'm not going to probably read none of them all the way, but I will go through and get what I need. And I'm all right with that. So, signs that you're aligned with your higher self. I have just a few more minutes in me and then I'm going to go. But I want to talk a little bit about these signs that you are in alignment because a lot of times what happens is people start to, find ways to deepen their practices, the things that that they need to do that help them feel strong, that help them feel in alignment. And so signs that you are aligned with your higher self is you start to feel calm, you start to feel confident, at peace. And I'm gonna tell y'all, these are signs for real because this is how I started feeling. I started feeling like, oh my God, you know what, oh my God, I am saying something, you know what I mean? And so and then the peace came too. So like that peace just and it's hard to really describe, unless you have been at a place where you haven't felt the peace. Decisions start to come more easily and with clarity and certainty. Synchronicities, meaningful coincidences become frequent. So, I mean, to me, it's like a whole vibe. It's like you've stepped into and you've embodied who you are. And so you're in this whole vibe, you know? And you start to feel a deep sense of purpose and alignment in your life. And y'all, I'm telling you, when I tell you that this is where I am now, like I started feeling this about last year, about December. Yeah, about December, I started kind of feeling this, and I was like, okay, because I was asking God for direction, and I was asking God for, my particular brand of magic, because I have lots of tools and things that I can do and things that I can share with people and all of that. But I was like, I need to know what is the magic and the transformation that I can help people to do using all of these amazing tools that I have, you know what I mean? And so, because like I'm a Reiki master and I've taken all kinds of different healing programs, and I'm a natural healer anyway, about a 4th or 5th generation anyway. I come from people that healed. And so I knew this, but I was afraid of that for years and decades. And then, you come into this space, the online space, and my God, so many people. And it's crazy because when I interview people, y'all, I have a show straight out of Savannah, and it's right here on this channel, and it's also on Spotify and Google and Apple and iHeartRadio and Audibles, and you name it, it's everywhere. But you can also listen to it and you can watch it here. So I post the video as well as the audio comes from Spotify. So anyhow, I interview people and I talk to them and I'm like, man, and this is what you do. Oh my God, that's really what I'm up to. And this is where I'm aligned. Herbalism, yes, that is another thing that is huge, Miss Keisha. Because herbalism is amazing and I love that. Like I said, I think I've taken a class or 2 in that too. But what I decided about that was I have a friend that's an herbalist. I just go to her. I'm like, no, I don't want to take on anything else. It's almost like, you start going down these rabbit holes because you figure it out and you learn something else and you say, oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, all right, no, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. Same thing like human design. Like I like human design and I've been learning a little bit about it, but I can't go down that rabbit hole, y'all. It's just too much. It's too much. It's like, your eyes start getting crossed. So I said, nah, let me stay in my lane over here, because I don't want to be a dibbler and a dabbler. Like I tell people, I said, I know enough to be able to speak on it. And now that I, know a little bit more about my design, and I just interviewed Alice Wilcox on this channel, and she was the human design person that actually did my first session, and she was amazing. Y'all, I still look at her reports. Her report was fucking phenomenal. Like she wrote it to you like you didn't understand it, and I noticed that a lot of these times you go to people's courses and classes and they think, oh, because you're a Reiki master or because you're a this and that, like I'm a Reiki master, I'm a certified theta healer, I'm also a quantum Reiki and some other kind of something else, a bunch of things, and so they assume, and I think about it too, like I'm a nurse and I've been a nurse for over 30 years and I'm on my way to retirement. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. But anyway, so um, people will say stuff like this. Oh, well, this thing was happening or whatever, but, but you probably know about that because you're a nurse. And I'm like, no, I don't know about that because I haven't worked in that field, that area in a long, long time. Or I haven't dealt with that situation in over a decade, or the last time I heard anything about it was in school. Right, right. So, people will say that stuff to you. You'd be like, no, I don't know, because I haven't worked with the eyes or I haven't worked with the, whatever, and I've done a lot of things. And so I was like, nah, it's all good. But yeah, so anyway, so she explained this thing like you were a 2-year old. And I love it. And so I actually printed it off and I started highlighting and going through it and checking it out and trying to, really just open it up for myself because I knew when I found out about it and I started looking at it, I said, okay, this is something that, will help me and that I should know, because it's a whole vibe, and I really do enjoy it. But like I said, I'm not going down no rabbit hole to try to learn how to teach it. That is not for me. But, on this journey, as we grow, we learn what is for us, what is not for us, because we can, like you can do anything that you want to do, and my thing is that is fine. Do whatever it is, whatever your heart's desire, But as for me, I'm gonna stay over here and I'm gonna do some of these things over here. I'm not gonna do that, because I'm not trying to be a jack of all trades. All right, so I think I talked about journaling, definitely keeping a journal. I have a few, like I'm a journaler, so I have a lot of them. My husband's like, you buying another notebook? And I'm like, yes. Like right now, I'm about to go to the Dollar Tree and get my calendars for the year because I usually get like a calendar for my desk and then I get a calendar for the wall in my office, which is where I'm at. And then I get, one for downstairs and yeah, and one for my bedroom. So I usually get a couple of calendars. So I usually go to the Dollar Tree and just get those cute ones that they have. And they have a desk one. And so I get those. And usually I get a notebook or two and a couple of candles. So today I decided to be smart about it. And I have a $20 bill. So what I can get for $20 is what I'm going to get from there. I'm not taking my, cards or none of that stuff because I'm walking across the street because it's across the street from me. But yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm trying to be, no. I'm starting the year off good. You published. Oh, wow, that's awesome. That's awesome, girl. You need to drop the link. I don't know if we can. Well, yeah, drop the link because I mean we can find it or see it, and that way when I get to it, I can find it. Because I love that kind of stuff, girl. I'm with that. I didn't do it. Matter of fact, I'm working on one of those actually right now. I was thinking about it and I said, you know what? I said, because I'm working actually on a book called Aligning to Love. And it's the series that I'm doing right now. Like the playlist that I have down there, it's going to be in the book because it's what I'm doing. Because that's where I came to. Because I was trying to wonder. I was like, what am I supposed to be doing? I was asking God. I was like, who am I supposed to be helping? And what am I supposed to be doing? I said, because I do these readings and I don't mind doing them. I'm not going to love them. I don't mind doing them, but that's not something that, I just know. I thought I want to do some deeper work. And so I started really realizing, like, it took me a while. I'm telling you, it took me a couple of years because I wrote this book. Okay. So I wrote this book, and it didn't hit me that, yes, ma'am, definitely do that. And let me see, how can we connect? Because I can, yeah, I can connect. That way you could come on my show. Because definitely, I definitely. So, yeah, I think I can, I'll see. I'll see. Did you subscribe, Keisha? Because I can see how we can connect. Or you know what? You know what? Go in the about section of my page, and I think my email is in there, and all the places where I'm at. So you, if you can, because we might even be connected on Facebook or something like that. I don't know. But if you can connect with me on one of those places, then you can send me, the stuff, or my email, because I think it's in the about section of this channel. I think, because I think I've gotten emails from people. So I did. That's good. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll look through, because I think it's a way I can find you. But if not, like I said, you can get my email in the about section of the channel, and just email me, or Facebook, or whatever, wherever you want to find me. And then we can get together, and I can send you the link so you can schedule that, because I definitely want to have you on the show. And that's going to be fun, because my shows are fun. But anyway, I'm gonna get off here because I really didn't even plan to be on here this long. But my friend Keisha came on to have conversation, and you know what? That's what we do. But I hope this was helpful to y'all. If you are subscribed to me, thank you, thank you, thank you. Like this video, I appreciate you. Um, and share, also share. And if you know people that are looking for, these types of tips and tools, because what I'm talking about now I am a channeler, I'm a psychic, a medium, I'm a Reiki master, quantum Reiki something, and a Q-Rip practitioner, and all these other things. Um, but really, what I am is somebody that wants to help people. And my Line to Love program that I'm working on right now, y'all, that thing is so fire. Like, I'm so excited about it, because the vision I have for it is that they gave me is to do the book. So I'm writing the book, but as I'm writing the book, I'm doing the program too, and do a standalone DIY program if people just want to grab that. And then a program, where, it's a high touch program where we come together in small groups. Like, I don't want any more than 10 people in this group, because I want to be able to connect with everybody, and so this is something in that program you'll get is 6 weeks, and then each person in the program will get 2 1-to-1 sessions with me, one toward the beginning and one toward the end. So I can help you with any questions or integration or whatever that you need. And so that program I'm so excited about, because I know that it's necessary, because it's going to help you energetically align to the love that you're seeking. And my goal for this program is for you to become the love that you are seeking. Because once you become that love, then you radiate out that love, and then by the law of attraction, you'll attract that love back to you. And why do I feel qualified to tell that? Because this is exactly what I did. I had a husband that didn't appreciate me. And yeah, and he was abusive in many ways. And so I took time out and I healed. I didn't date for over a year after we got divorced. And I just took care of myself. And what I did, I dated myself. And nobody told me to do any of this. And there were no programs. There was nobody. There was me and God. And so I got real close to God during this time. I really did. I mean, to me, it was closer than ever. And I've always been there, because I was raised in the church and all that, but my grandmother was a pastor. So, just the fact of being able to, take that time out and do that. I didn't date. I didn't sleep with anybody but me, and it was just beautiful. And so as I was thinking, and I was asking myself, what do I have to share, and what is my magic, that is, unique to me. And so God just was like, you know what, you can help people with this, because this is something that I did. Like nobody, there was nothing. I couldn't find anything, and back in those days, it wasn't. It was, we had the internet, but it wasn't as heavy as it is now. And so yeah. I think back then people were still paying for minutes and stuff like that on the cell phone. But yeah, so I started doing this work, and I started doing a lot of things that I didn't even know, like I had not even had experience with. I was a church girl, so I didn't have experience with, I knew how to meditate because my grandmother had taught me that, but I didn't have experience with any of this other stuff. And so I started really going on this journey. And so all of this journey actually culminated together. So that's why I said I'm uniquely qualified to help you, because energetically I can see where you are. I can see where you are, and I can help you to shift those patterns and those limiting beliefs. And, so like right now I'm creating meditations for it, because that's something that I really want. Yes, exactly. I knew God told me to write that thing. I wrote that book 3 times, but it changed, of course, each time. Like I lost it the first time on a computer, nobody could recover it. It was years ago, but it wouldn't have had everything that was in it now. So now I realize that divine timing. Like when I wrote this book this time, I wrote it in 30 days. I literally channeled the book. However, that also taught me something about myself. It taught me that that is how I write, and that's how I create, I channel. And what I had to learn how to do is to allow it and to release myself and receive the channel and just let it be. You know what I mean? And so that's why I was on this journey. I was like, I gotta figure out what is it. And this feels so aligned to me, and it feels so good to be able to talk to women and femmes, and to be honest, I work with men too, because I know that men have these problems as well. Because my husband and I now, my current husband that God sent me, he had those same type of problems with his ex. Both of them were narcissists, and we are empathic, empathetic, gifted, intuitive people. And a lot of times when you're empathic and you are intuitive, you attract those kind unknowingly. A lot of times it's because that's what we grew up with. And in our cases, that was it. And so, when you grow up like that, you unknowingly attract that. And until you start to make that shift, that's why people go and they get the same person. They go and they get rid of this one, and then they go get this other one, and oh, this one is wonderful, and blah blah blah. Because of course that's what they're going to show you in the beginning. And then when you start getting underneath the surface and you start seeing the same shit, the same thing as that one, the same thing, but maybe in a different way. Maybe this one was physically abusive, but this one is sexually abusive or emotionally abusive, and this other one is just plain abusive, and then this one, all of this, and you still getting these same things. And so my thing is, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. But there are ways that you can help yourself to shift. And so I'm just like, I'm excited about it, because I feel like it's so many women out there, and probably men too, but I'm speaking to the women. Like I said, I will work with men, but I'm talking primarily to my women, because I know them, that are out here, and we are, trying to find somebody. We got our careers, we're making good money. A lot of women are like, I don't even care how much money he make. He can be a trash man. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm just looking for somebody that's going to love me and this and that. And I see that so much. And so I saw that, and I realized, okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. But yeah, so when you find that, and you start to really step into alignment, you know what I mean? And because there's so many things that can help you. And this is what I'm doing. Why I came with that. Because I was like, you know what? Not only, they can do breath work, because that's something that I do every single day. I do breath work every single day. I do Reiki on myself every single day. I do a body scan where I scan my body every single day. I call it therapeutic touch, because I have healing hands, and so I rub my hands together and I feel my body and I touch my body and I tell it that it's whole and that it's healed and that it's delivered and that I don't care what it thinks it feels. It's whole and it's healed and it's delivered, and I thank it for serving me. So appreciate you, Keisha. I appreciate you. We'll definitely connect, for sure. I will, like I said, go in my above. I think it's in the about section, I think. And I'm pretty sure my email is in there because I think I saw it one day and I wondered if I should take it out. But I think it's in there. And then all the places, TikTok, for those of you that are watching, and make sure you follow me on TikTok. I go live there every day as well. I will be live there today. It'll be this afternoon. I usually try to go around 3 to 4 in the afternoon, and I usually stay on a couple of hours. I usually pray. I also do readings, usually for the cost of a gift in my gift thing, my live goal thing. And let me see what else. And I pray for people on the live because that's why I'm here. Because God sent me here to do this work. And at this point now, I'm not working anybody's job right now, so I'm working for God. Yes, I appreciate you, and I'm so glad you did too. This was an amazing time. Yeah, so thank y'all. Have a wonderful rest of your day whenever you're catching this. I love it if you drop some comments and let me know how this set for you. And if it's something that could help you. Also check out my links in my description. It has Amazon links, which I am an affiliate, so I do get a small commission. But if you'll check out those links, there are a lot of things down there that I currently use, that I love. I'm adding new links daily or weekly. Also, check out my Stand store, which is my website, and it has all my offerings. It has lots of free tools and free resources on there, especially if you are working on your spiritual gifts or being mindful. I also have a forgiveness letter, which is not free, but is on there, and I think it's only $7. Also, I have my Remembering Who the Fuck You Are, which is my membership that I'm taking members now. I'm so excited for it. I cannot wait. But that is just wonderful for me. And then I also have a phone session if you would like to have a one-to-one session with me that currently is only $55 for 30 minutes. We just talk on the phone. If you want to do it on Facebook Messenger phone or however, it doesn't really matter to me, but that's how we do it. So that is something. I also have a few other things in there that you can check out. I am doing some workshops that are going to be going in there because I am so excited about this new year and all of the potential that we have in it. So make sure you're checking out those things for me. I appreciate you. Help a budding creator and watch some videos and help me monetize on this platform. So again, thank you for watching. I love all of you, and this is always amazing. So I will see you tomorrow because I'm live every day. I'll see you tomorrow here, or I'll see you on TikTok later on today, or both. So have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye now.